And if you want to, I mean, it's your hearing, so if you, or your meeting, so if you want to call it back to order whenever you see fit, I'll just wait silently until you do that. And when you're ready to handle the petition hearing, I will jump in and take over then.
Yeah, we have a few matters of housekeeping as well, but I guess we're ready to go. Agenda item 1A.
Sorry to interrupt. This is the moderator. I apologize, Board President. I was going to start the recording and wanted to do a few more mic checks, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. Ariel Pay, if we can do a quick mic check. Thank you. And Deidre Robinson, quick mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
Thank you. And lastly, Carrie Ann Farrell Hines.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to start or resume the recording and we'll make a loud announcement. And after that, I turn it over to you, Board President. Again, I apologize for the interruption.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you. Welcome back after lunch. This is the continuation of the January 20th CBA board meeting. I am President Savoy. Agenda item 1A is the petition hearing for Daniel Patrick Hudgens. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to briefly summarize a little bit of the process beyond what the judge has already gone through. In a moment, I will ask Ms. Reed, the CBA's board relations analyst, to conduct a roll call to establish the CBA members present for the matter and to establish a quorum. After roll call is conducted, I will ask if any members need to recuse themselves from this matter. After the quorum has been established and any recusals occur, the administrative law judge will then take the appearances and will swear in the petitioner. He's gone through most of the procedures. The only thing I'd like to remind everybody is when we go around the room to ask questions by board members, please make sure you speak slowly and accurately, as the court reporter must take down all this information. Also, before you ask a question, please state your name. At this time, Ms. Reed, will you please take a roll call?
Nancy Corrigan.
Present.
Carrie Ann Farrell Hines.
Carrie Ann Farrell Hines, present.
Dan Jacobson. Sochi Leon.
Sochi Leon here.
Luz Molina Lopez.
Present.
Dee Dee Owens.
Dee Dee Owens, present.
Ariel Pay.
Present.
Deirdre Robinson.
Deirdre Robinson, present.
Katrina Salazar. Michael Savoy.
Michael Savoy, present.
Mark Silverman.
Present.
And Yin Tu.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Is there any member that needs to recuse himself from this hearing? Hearing none at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting to the administrative law judge.
Boy, we have Mr. Jakar here and we have Mr. Hudgens here. For the court reporter, are you ready to go on the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jakar, are you ready to go on the record? And Mr. Hudgens, are you ready to go on the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we are on the record in the matter of the petition for reinstatement of surrendered certificate of Daniel Patrick Hudgens. This matter is being heard before the California Board of Accountancy. It is board case number S as in Sierra, I as in Igloo, 2022-14. My name is Sean Gavin. I'm the administrative law judge from the Office of Administrative Hearings assigned to preside over this matter. Can I take the appearances of the parties, starting with counsel?
This is Deputy Attorney General Ted Durkar, and that last name is spelled Durcar.
Thank you, Mr. Durkar, and please accept my apology for having mispronounced your name earlier. Mr. Hudgens, you are appearing today by video conference without the assistance of counsel, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Before we went on the record, the moderator went through and established the presence of each board member who is here and established that a quorum of the board, which in this case is a majority of the board members, is present. So we have a quorum. Before we went on the record, I explained the process that will follow for today's hearing. I will briefly summarize that explanation so that your record is complete. Mr. Hudgens, in a moment, I'll turn it over to Mr. Durkar to present the petition packet to the board and briefly summarize the license history and discipline. After he's done that, you'll have a chance to present any additional evidence you'd like. You may do so in the form of offering your own testimony, calling additional third-party witnesses, or presenting any additional documents. Once you've testified, Mr. Durkar will have a chance to cross-examine you, followed by an opportunity for each board member to ask questions as they see fit. Once no one has any more questions, the evidence portion of the hearing will conclude. The parties will then have a chance to make a brief closing argument during which they can summarize what they think the evidence showed and suggest what outcome should happen as a result. Any questions about that, Mr. Hudgens?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Durkar, anything to take up before we move forward with your presentation of the petition packet?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you may proceed with that when you are ready.
Yes, I'm ready. I'll just make some preliminary remarks at the outset to explain that I appear on behalf of the people of the state of California by authority of Business and Professions Code Section 5115 and Government Code Section 11522. My role in this hearing is to assist the board members and Your Honor in your fact-finding mission. My role isn't adversarial, but is intended to protect the public health, safety, and welfare. I'm here to ensure that the board and Your Honor have the information needed to make a reasoned decision. And turning now to the evidence packet that everybody should have a copy of. All the board members and Petitioner and Your Honor should have been provided with a copy of the same petition packet. The documents total 21 pages, and they've been sequentially stamped with the marking of DPH-PET-001 through 21. And these documents include the notice of hearing at page 20, and Mr. Hudgens' petition is at pages 4 through 9. I would ask that the whole packet be marked as Exhibit 1 and admitted into evidence unless there are objections.
Mr. Hudgens, do you object to any of those 21 pages being used as evidence in this case?
No, I do not.
Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Your Honor, I'd like to provide a summary of the case if you agree it's appropriate at this juncture.
Yes, please do so.
Okay. Mr. Hudgens received his CPA certificate in California, number 78371, in 1999. When he moved to Virginia and stopped doing work for any California-based companies, he entered a non-disciplinary surrender in 2006. In regards to his professional background, California is not the first place he was licensed. I believe he was first licensed in Texas. And he has been an audit partner for Deloitte & Touche since 1996, working for that company in both Texas and Virginia. At page 7 of the packet, this is in his petition, Mr. Hudgens explains that his license should be reinstated because he has no disciplinary history in any of the 3 states in which he has been licensed, and his firm, Deloitte & Touche, has asked him to relocate to California. That would be his reason for wanting to reinstate his license. At pages 10 to 12 are documents that he provided showing all of the continuing education that he's taken through his firm over the last 3 years. I believe that list of continuing education courses totals over 150 hours. That concludes my summary. Mr. Hudgens does have the burden of proof in this proceeding, but once he is done with any evidence he wishes to present, I would like to ask him a few questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Durkar. Mr. Hudgens, that takes us to you. And in order for me to have you testify, I'll have to first swear you in. So please raise your right hand and let me know when you've done so.
Okay.
All right, I can see that you've done so. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down if you'd like. This is your opportunity to explain in your own words what you think the board should know when deciding this petition. Please keep in mind that the board has seen the petition itself and is aware of its contents. So there's no need to read everything that's in the petition again. But as I said, if you'd like to add anything or explain anything else in your own words, you may do so now.
Okay, thank you. I believe that everything relevant to this petition is included in the petition and summarized by Mr. Durkar. I will make one clarification. In 1996, I was employed by Arthur Anderson. I was admitted to partnership there in 1998, and so when I received my California license, I was a partner at Arthur Anderson. I left Arthur Anderson as it was closing its operation in 2002 and joined Deloitte & Touche as a partner in 2002. So that's the only clarification that I would make.
Okay, thank you for that. And if that concludes your testimony, then I'll turn it over to Mr. Durkar for cross-examination. I can see you nodding, so let's do that. Go ahead, Mr. Durkar, when you're ready.
Yes, Mr. Hudgens, could you please tell us about your plans to practice accounting in California?
Sure. I've been asked to relocate from Virginia to the Bay Area of California to serve a significant amount of growth that we've had, particularly in our audit practice in the Bay Area. There have been a number of new public companies that are new to our practice, largely IPOs and SPACs, and we've had a number of retirements of our senior partners in that area, and so I've been asked to come in and play a senior partner role in the Bay Area practice.
Could you tell us about your practice over the years? Has it emphasized audits of public companies?
I've supervised audits of public companies and private companies for the last 20 years. My focus has really been on public companies, though.
All right, thank you. Those are all the questions I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Durkar. That takes us then to the board members' opportunity to ask any questions of the petitioner. We can either have folks raise their digital hands, and I can call them that way, or I can just kind of go down the list. Mr. Savoy, do you have a preference?
Or you just go down the list. If they have
Okay.
questions, let them ask them. If they do not, let them state no questions.
All right, let's do it that way. It just so happens, Mr. Savoy, that yours is the first name on my list, so why don't we start with you?
I have no questions, thank you.
All right, Mr. Silverman,
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Salazar, Ms. Corrigan,
Thank you.
Ms. Hines, Mr. Jacobson,
Questions.
Ms. Leon,
Thank you.
Ms. Lopez,
Thank you. No questions.
Ms. Owens,
Thank you.
Mr. Pei,
Your Honor, no questions. Thank you.
Mr. Robinson,
Vincent, thank you.
and Ms. Tu.
No questions.
Are there any board members who are present that I have missed? All right, hearing none, then let me ask, Mr. Hudgens, is there anything else you'd like to add on your own behalf before I move forward to closing argument?
I just thank the board for their consideration of my petition, as well as for the administrative law judge and for your time as well.
All right, that takes us then to closing argument. Mr. Durkar, I understand you're not here in an adversarial role, but if you have any closing remarks, you may make them now.
To the public interest and public safety. I haven't identified any public safety concerns about reinstatement of Mr. Hudgens' license. He has never been disciplined in any jurisdiction. And since surrendering his California license over 15 years ago, he has been continuously licensed and has been practicing in the states of Texas and Virginia. So it appears that he would be fully ready to practice accounting competently in this state.
All right, thank you, Mr. Durkar. Mr. Hudgens, is there anything else you'd like to make, any closing remarks you'd like to make on your own behalf?
I have none. Thank you.
All right, then in a moment, I'm going to ask whether the matter is submitted. And by that, I mean, are you satisfied you've had a full opportunity to present all evidence and make all argument on your behalf? Mr. Durkar, is the matter submitted from the AG's office?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hudgens, is the matter submitted for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then the matter is submitted, the case is closed, and we are off the record. Mr. Savoy, before I turn it back over to you, I do need to find out some information from our court reporter. So with your permission, I'll ask our court reporter, I just need your time of completion and estimated number of pages whenever you're ready.
Yes, the time is 1:51. And the estimated number of pages is 30.
All right, thank you. And then were there any terms, names, or other that you needed spelled?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much for your time then. Mr. Savoy, then I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we will go into closed session to deliberate on this matter. Moderator, just let me know when we're ready to continue.
Thank you.
I will sign off now. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Hudgens.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If I can get some confirmation that you can hear me.
I hear you.
Thank you. So at this time, I'm going to ask any members of the public who are in the attendee list to please log out. We're going to close this session or this meeting for the closed session here. So I am looking through the list and I have a few more members in the attendee list. Again, if you can please exit